Pick n Pay share price was 40 rand and 17 cents earlier on today. That was after the release of its full year numbers to the end of March, actually to March the 3rd of this year. But it's recovered somewhat since then. It's up about 1% at the moment. I must admit that having spoken to Richard Brasher, the CEO of Pick n Pay at the Pick n Pay head office a couple of hours ago, I did get some kind of sense that this company has the potential to turn around. But nonetheless, turnover was down turnover was up 7.1%. Headline earnings per share down 31%. So it's been a very, very torrid year. They just can't seem to convert increased turnover into profits. I put the first question to Mr. Brasher that literally asked him how tough the trading period under review has been.
Well, clearly the business has gone through a lot of change in the last couple of years, and the results are a reflection of that fairly traumatic transformation that they've been going through. But at its heart, as I said to the staff, it's a good business. In fact, it's a great business. I think the important thing for people to remember is that we did serve more customers, and we did have more stores open, and we did take more money. What the business has failed to do is to convert that to an appropriate level of profit for our shareholders.
Yeah, you say that. You say you failed to turn sales into sufficient profits. Why is that? I mean, it's not an easy question to answer, but you must have a fairly good idea since you've been in the job.
Well, clearly I've taken over the CEO in the last few weeks, and the company's been at a point of transition. And when you're transitioning for a future business, you make a big investment, and that's what the company's done, which in fairness has depressed the profits. I think also through that change, there's been a degree of disruption, and therefore what the company really needs to focus on is good fiscal control and make sure that we return to what we have been, which is at our heart simple retailers that run shops and convert a high turnover into a reasonable profit, working on thin margins. And that is what I will be bringing to the business in the coming year.
Speaking about thin margins, I found this extraordinary to find out that 60% of turnover is through Smart Shopper. That must have hit your margins. What are your plans for Smart Shopper?
Well, Smart Shopper, I mean, a lot of people have asked me since I've joined the company, what do I think about loyalty cards? And I think they're very good. I think the opportunity to say thank you to customers is something that a good retailer would always want to do. I think that Smart Shopper can be more efficient. I think it can be more effective. But what I do know is that customers like it. 10 Smart Shoppers are swiped every second that Pick n Pay is open. So customers like it. So of all the transformations the business has been through, the one that the customers would cite to me is, we really like Smart Shopper. Now what we've got to do is make sure that we get busy with it and we make it better.
I know every time I'm in a queue at Pick n Pay, the lady will say, do you have a Smart Shopper card? And every single person in front of me has got it. But can you answer the question whether it's affecting your margins or not?
Well, clearly they're not free, and therefore it has depressed the profitability of the business. But that's, to my point, is that it needs to cost us a bit less and we need to make more of it. I think customers like it, but they do find it a bit complicated, and I think that we've got some plans that will simplify it for them.
You talk about investing heavily, and you're still investing heavily, but you say yet to generate sufficient value. Where's that heavy investment been, and where's it going to be?
Well, we transitioned our buying operation into category management based in Johannesburg. We moved 41% of our grocery operation into central distribution. We've completely redone our core operating system with SAP, and we introduced Smart Shopper, all of which are fairly substantial investments in their own right. And the company, for choice, probably hasn't changed enough in 10 years and has changed a bit too much in 2. So we're just getting through the indigestion process of having done so much change all at once.
A lot of those things, apart from Smart Shop, are not really visible to the person going into a Pick n Pay store. And I think that's the gripe for many people. I know Pick n Pay through 2 things. Number 1, the share price. Number 2, going to Constantia Pick n Pay on 2 or 3 times a week. And I have to say that the experience seems to have lagged what I get in other shops. You seem to have fallen behind. Are you rectifying that?
Well, I spend my time in the shops. It's slightly unfortunate you're filming me in my office, but I'm rarely here. I'm out in the shops, talking to customers and being with the teams in the stores. We have to be focused on the shopping trip. Customers don't care whether we serve them from a big depot or a small depot. They don't mind whether the buyer was here or somewhere else. And therefore, many of the changes that the business has gone through have not been primarily customer facing in the short term. All of the changes need to reflect themselves in the shopping trip. So my absolute focus in the coming year is the shopping trip. get it better for customers in the stores, whether it be Constancia or any one of the stores in our group, and you and I can have a conversation whether you, when you do your shopping, feel any tangible difference.
How many years in the making is this going to be there? Have you got a 5-year plan? What is the time horizon?
Well, I've got a 1-year plan because I've got a plan to improve the business in a year. I'm not going to transform the business in a year, but we need to stop our profits going down. So we're going to get busy making sure that we've got good fiscal control and that we're focused on the things that customers care about. Clearly, for the business to have a longer term strategy, 3 to 5 years, then I'm working on that. But, you know, as we've discussed, I've only been in the seat for a few weeks, and what I've said to the markets today is that I've done a preliminary review which has clarified my plan for the year, and by October I will have done a thorough review and I will announce any changes at that point.
Finally, of course, you talk about the customer. What is the state of the Pick and Pay customer at the moment? You talk a lot about the macroeconomics and how depressed the South African market is. How bad is it, do you think?
Well, look, everything's relative. I mean, the economy may not be growing as fast as people would like, but it's not declining. And therefore, as a retailer, I'm pleased that the market's growing. You know, it's a slight wind on my back rather than it's a wind in my face. And I think that clearly people are feeling the pinch and they are looking for value. And I think that that's perfect for Pick and Pay to demonstrate that we can offer it.
Okay, your prospect statement in a couple of sentences?
Focus on delivery. Focus on availability, focus on giving customers what they want in the store, and less focus on strategy, more focused on doing. As they say in Africa, get busy.